Today, we're diving deep into the world of Manhwa, the incredible Korean comics that have taken the world by storm. We all love the epic stories, the stunning art, and the unforgettable characters. But like any major entertainment industry, the world of Manhwa isn't without its shadows. Behind the glossy pages and viral hits, there are some serious controversies that fans and creators have been grappling with. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's talk about the controversial side of Manhwa. First up, let's tackle the elephant in the room, the working conditions for artists and writers. This is a huge issue. We often see new chapters of our favorite series dropping weekly, without fail. But have you ever stopped to think about what it takes to produce that much high-quality content week after week? Many creators are working under immense pressure, pulling all-nighters and sacrificing their health to meet relentless deadlines. Stories of creators suffering from burnout, repetitive strain injuries, and severe mental and physical exhaustion are unfortunately all too common. Some have even tragically passed away due to health complications linked to overwork. It's a systemic problem tied to the fast-paced, high-demand nature of webtoon platforms. While they want to deliver content to eager readers, the human cost can be incredibly high. It really makes you wonder if the current weekly release model is sustainable or even ethical in the long run. Building on that, let's talk about creator compensation. You'd think that with Manhwa being a multi-billion-dollar industry, the creators would be rolling in it, right? Well, it's not always that simple. The payment structures can be incredibly complex. Many new artists start with very low pay, hoping their series will become a hit. The revenue-sharing models between creators and platforms can also be a point of contention. While a successful series can make a creator very wealthy, many others struggle to make a living wage. There's a huge disparity between the top-tier creators and everyone else. The platforms hold a lot of power and negotiations can be tough, especially for up-and-coming artists who don't have much leverage. There have been public disputes where creators have called out platforms for unfair contracts and a lack of transparency in how earnings are calculated. It's a classic power struggle that we see in many creative fields. Now let's shift gears to the content itself. One of the biggest debates revolves around the portrayal of certain themes, especially in popular genres like romance and drama. Tropes like the toxic male lead are a staple in many stories. You know the type: overly possessive, controlling, sometimes emotionally manipulative, but he's presented as the ultimate romantic hero. While many readers enjoy this as pure fantasy, critics argue that it can normalize unhealthy relationship dynamics. It sparks a conversation about where the line is between fictional drama and promoting problematic behavior. Similarly, the depiction of women in some series has drawn criticism. Are female characters consistently being put in damsel-in-distress situations, or are they written with agency and depth? It's a nuanced debate, and what one person sees as empowering, another might see as regressive. There's no easy answer, but it's a conversation that the community is constantly having. Another major content-related controversy is plagiarism and art theft. This is a heartbreaking issue for any artist. In the digital age, it's easier than ever for someone to trace, copy, or outright steal another person's artwork and pass it off as their own. There have been several high-profile cases where a popular manhwa was accused of plagiarizing art from other comics, photos, or even 3D models without permission. When these accusations surface, it can completely derail a series. The fan community often gets involved, creating side-by-side comparisons and demanding accountability. For the original artist, it's a violation of their hard work and creativity. For the accused, if the claims are true, it's a massive blow to their reputation and career. Platforms have to navigate these situations carefully, often leading to series being put on indefinite hiatus or canceled altogether. Let's not forget the role of translation and localization. This is how most of us international fans experience manhwa. But have you ever read a translation that just felt off? Unofficial scanlations, while often filling a gap for series that aren't licensed, can be a minefield of quality issues. They're done by fans, often for free, and the quality can range from excellent to barely readable. But the real controversy lies in the fact that they operate in a legal gray area. They distribute content without permission from the creators who don't see a dime from all those millions of views. On the other hand, official translations aren't without their own problems. Sometimes in an effort to localize a story for a Western audience, important cultural nuances are lost. Names might be changed, dialogue might be altered, and in some cases, entire scenes might be censored or cut. This can be frustrating for fans who want the most authentic experience possible. It's a constant balancing act between accessibility, cultural integrity, and respecting the original creator's vision. And speaking of censorship, this is a huge topic. Different countries and different platforms have very different standards for what is considered acceptable content. A scene that is perfectly fine in South Korea might be deemed too explicit or sensitive for a platform in another country. This often leads to manhwa being altered for their international release. You might see characters suddenly wearing more clothes, violent scenes being toned down, or romantic scenes being edited to be less intimate. While some of this is done to comply with local laws or platform guidelines, it can feel like a compromise of the artist's original intent. Fans often get upset when they discover they're reading a sanitized version of the story. It raises questions about artistic freedom and who gets to decide what an audience is mature enough to see. The rise of AI-generated art has also thrown a massive wrench into the works. This is a very new but rapidly growing controversy. The idea of using artificial intelligence to create or assist with manhwa art is incredibly divisive. On one side, some see it as a tool that can help speed up the brutal production process, potentially easing the workload on overworked artists. It could be used for backgrounds, textures, or even character poses. But on the other side, many artists and fans are deeply concerned. They worry it could devalue the skill and craft of human artists, lead to job losses, and create a soulless, generic art style across the industry. There are also major ethical questions about the data used to train these AI models. Was it sourced ethically? Was it trained on the work of countless artists without their consent? One major platform recently faced a huge backlash for trying to incorporate AI-generated images, and they had to quickly backtrack. This is a battle for the very soul of the art form, and it's a debate that is only just beginning. So where does all this leave us? The manhwa industry is a vibrant, exciting space, but it's clear that it's also facing some serious growing pains. These controversies aren't just industry gossip. They affect the lives and careers of the creators we admire and shape the stories we love to read. As fans, being aware of these issues is important. Supporting official releases, participating in constructive discussions, and advocating for fair treatment of creators can all make a difference. The industry is evolving, and hopefully, with continued conversation and pressure from both creators and fans, it can evolve for the better. We all want a future where amazing manhwa can be created in a way that is sustainable, ethical, and fair for everyone involved. What are your thoughts on these issues? Have you been following any of these controversies? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. Let's keep the conversation going respectfully. Thanks so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. I'll see you in the next one.